Hello, my name is Daniel. I'm the Air Traffic Manager for the virtual Anchorage ARTCC, part of the VSC network. Today I will be demonstrating setting up and connecting VSC for oceanic controllers. We utilize the VSC client with our custom plugin to simulate Advanced Technique and Oceanic Procedures System, otherwise known as ATOP. To get started, I'm going to load up my browser, and we're going to visit virtualairtrafficsystem.com, which is the website for VSC. We'll click the download button, and you'll click on download next to the latest version. Once that's done downloading, you'll open up the zip file and run the installer. You'll run through the installer just like any other installation process, and when you're done, leave Launch VSC checked and click Finish. And you'll come up with the Select a Profile dialog. So we'll go ahead and close up some of these background windows because we don't need them anymore. And the one you're going to want is ATOP Anchorage, and you're going to hit Load. It's going to download the profile from the VSC servers. You'll never have to update this. This will automatically download each time you open VSC, so your information will always be the latest. Once we're done, you'll have a couple basic windows. You can ignore this error. If you want to sync your nav data with Navigraph, you can, but our profile is set up so you don't have to, so you can do that if you want. First thing you're going to do is you're going to come up here to Settings, Position, and you're going to select which oceanic area you're working. So you can either do the Pacific area or the Arctic area. For the demonstration, we're going to be doing Pacific, and you're given your proposed list for ADAC departures. You can keep that closed if you'd like. And then I'm going to go ahead and just for demo purposes connect to the network. By default, it sets up your call sign for you. You can type in your real name, your VATSIM ID, and your password. Position will be FSS until Oceanic gets its own thing. You'll set your rating. Then you'll set server to automatic, or if you're doing training, you'll select one of the sweat boxes. Your instructor will tell you which one to do. You'll leave range at 1000 and just give us a quick read and make sure this is right. Sometimes this gets cut off because it's a little long, but you can always fix that if you'd like. But by default, this is populated based on our profile, and you'll hit connect. I'm only going to connect for demo purposes, but otherwise you typically won't connect to the live network while you're setting up. So now that I've connected to the live network, you can see the VSCS window starts populating, and you can see some aircraft being drawn up on your display. Your VSCS is your communication window, so you can use this to set your receive, transmit, and so on. One thing to know, and you'll hear the static, that's simulating HF. So what you'll do is you'll come in here to set up devices, and you're going to want to turn this off. The problem is you can't do that while you're connected to the network. That's why it's grayed out. So before you connect, you'll want to turn that off. Otherwise, you'll be listening to static consistently. So now I'm going to go ahead and disconnect from the network. Whoops. And that's just hitting disconnect on the connect dialog. And so now here, when you go to devices, you can uncheck that. Pretty much everything here is up to you to set up. So you can set up your input, your output, advanced settings if you need, your tone volumes, and so on. So for the rest of this, I can connect to the Sweatbox server, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And one thing with VATSIS is pretty different than the other clients that we're used to in the US. Your audio will not get set up when you're on Sweatbox. It lists it as an error, even though it's really not. So in the VSCS window, for example, you have no text here because you can't tune a frequency without being on the live network. Your maps are all located here. Your flight strips will be under jurisdiction here. And this will populate when you have aircraft, which I can go ahead and load up a training scenario just so we have something to look at. Might hear a couple of warnings, but that's okay. Command line. Let's get rid of this conflict by climbing Cathay 2093. Okay, and then you can see a quick demo here on how to change an altitude. So there you go. You have all your flight strips here. But for more information on how this works, what each item in the labels means, your flight strips, and so on and so forth, if you go back to Firefox, zanartec.org/resources, click Miscellaneous and Plugin Guide. This plugin guide goes over everything you need to know about operating the position, what each maps mean, what the different aircraft position symbols mean, what every item in the data tag means, different menu options for the data tag, what everything in the flight strip means. So this is a very thorough. Make sure you give us a read. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us in Discord. Otherwise, have a fantastic day.